Why do you feel like that one slipped away from you guys so quickly?
Well, I think the biggest issue right now, same like last game, it looks like we are out of shape, out of sync. Our feet are slow, our head are slow right now. I don't know, like, is it the reason we practice once this week? Travel, something, guys coming back after the sickness, injuries, so the chemistry is not there. We are learning how to play with each other, but that's the first thing for me, what we need to fix, to be able to run up and down the floor and with the pace. What is the basketball in this league? We talk about this, but now it's, we need to get everybody, have solid practice week and build from there. 36-4 fast break points today, and it's many layups after makes misses, the role change. We were so bad today, and obviously back-to-back doesn't help, but how flat we came. We watched the film, we learned, but I think that's the main reason. To be able to play in this league, we need to be in better basketball shape.
Have you thought about ways to overcome that? You're 0-2 now, and obviously you know how valuable just any win is in this league. Have you thought about how you can overcome that and get past that?
Well, like I said, I think that there are no magic tricks. We need experiences as a group. Now, okay, again, Parker got hurt. We'll see how he's feeling. He wasn't able to practice too much with the group. Baker just came. Some guys coming back from the injury. This is the reality, and there are, it takes time, but I think the simplest way is to have those practices together, get those experience, get everybody on the same page, and be able to match the physicality, the intensity of this league.
What was Parker's injury? Same thing from the Blitz?
Yeah, it's been going around, and he's trying, he's pushing, but obviously there is some discomfort what is holding him back, but he's a big part of what we try to do, so I hope he's getting healthy quickly, and it's hard to replace him in our system, how we wanna also play, and but we'll see. Our medical staff doing all the best what they can do, and getting ready for the next week.
You got production out of Isaiah and out of Rob Baker. How confident are you that they can have that production translate into helping winning basketball?
We are still learning who is Rob Baker, what he can really do. Today, at least, we got some reps. Sam Meneng was out, so we kind of saw him what he can do as a 5. And he had some good things, but obviously still learning the plays, the system, the defensively. Obviously, we are not on the same page, and there are some things there. And Brock is a really coachable guy. He's one of those guys I've been really happy during the preseason, always working hard. He's super coachable, trying to do the things. But obviously, as a group, we just got lesson today, basic of basketball, transition, defensive transition, what you need to do, setting screens, getting open. Like we talk about, like if you are sloppy with our entries, or if you are not setting screens, they got players, you can't screen him. You got Tyson Walker, they are good what they do, really good. And that's why they've been one of the best teams in the league many years. And like I said, we watch film, we learn, and we try to fix this as a group.
Do you have an idea if Sam's going to be available for
How I understood, yes. And we'll see when he's able to practice next week and get few reps also. But how I understood, he's available.
Do you think it was a big impact not having him today? Because I think 25 of United's first 34 points were from less than 2 meters away from the basket.
Of course, we got killed in the rebounds. Okay, in the end, the stats, second half, when they put their bench guys in, we kind of had a chance to put a little bit better stats. But first half, we got out rebounded by 13 or something like this in the halftime, and it was a big topic. Edwards is big body down there, but everything, for me, everything. This is secondary. We need to fix the main thing to be able to play with the speed, clear head. It's hard to play basketball where you're out of shape after this. Everything turns slow, and obviously then when you don't have those experiences together, you don't know your teammates, or you're not clear sometimes what to do. And I have to go back and look like, okay, this past week we had one practice together, but at the same time, what we can do better teaching, get the guys on the, better on the same page and this. But like I said, the biggest thing for me is the getting shape right now, so it helps on everything.
Any positives to take away from today's game, such as the improved three-point shooting after half-time?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, game was over. But obviously, the second half was kind of a little bit better, maybe. But it's hard to say. The game was over. We said you got still 20 minutes to show we are better than this. But I mean, there are some glimpses where we are playing, and we doing things, have patience, what we try to do, and play as a unit. But not too many.
First half, when there was still, when everything sort of went pear-shaped, you heard about the Melbourne United and I guess how they were scoring points, but there was also, there was a lot of passing cuts, there was a lot of, ball going through multiple hands before a shot goes up around the three-point line, there was a few post-up points there, whereas a lot of the stuff coming from New Zealand was either ISO ball or perhaps getting to the free throw line and things like that. Is that all part of what you're talking about when it comes to sitting down and having a look at things?
Definitely, and the ball was really sticky. Also, last game, kind of we stop, and this is we are not really on the same page with the continuation sometimes, and obviously Parker is a big part of what we try to do and create space for him and space our bigs out, but when some things are not there, we don't have still the patience to go to the next option and search for the better shot and play together. But like I said, this is all connected. Kind of how fast we are doing things, how good we do the basics. Are we screening? Are we getting open? If you're always on the back foot, it's difficult.
Cop, you said you're not in basketball shape to perform. What went wrong, or what inconsistencies were there in the preseason that led to this, or you just really put it down to injury?
I think injuries and sickness. I think everybody in our group been sick in past 1 week. Some guys had to sit out 5-6 days, and also some guys coming later. And like I said, we didn't have these experiences as a unit. We played good basketball in the Blitz, but after this, some injuries. Parker was out few weeks. Then we went to Japan. We had to play the second game with 7 players, and all these kind of things. But like I said, the first thing now, let's hope we can stay healthy and get those reps on the practice and get better. Both ends of the court.
Off the back of that, how do you really then try and get in sync as a team or find that chemistry on the run?
That's the difficult part, and we try to do. And now we travel. We have next practice on Wednesday, so it's kind of you don't have time in this league. There's the travel, then it's the day off, and then you have next practice on Wednesday. You can practice a few hours, and you start to build. This is the reality what we are living with, and it takes us as a coach how we can be more efficient, how the guys can be focused, locked in, and build that shape.
What are you looking for then over the next week to set the habits for, or foundation for, the rest of this season?
Everything, all just the simple things. What we want to do defensive end, what we want to do offensive end, the basic things. We can't step forwards before we really are on the same page, and that's the key. And then just do the basics better, and run the floor, space the floor, play basketball together. That's it.
Cop, it hasn't been an ideal start to the season for New Zealand with 2 losses. You guys welcome Perth to home Jamie next week. You also tied this week with a loss. Do you feel like there's a good chance for maybe next week to get back on the winning side and hopefully get a win against Perth?
That's the goal. We knew, coming to this season, there are the challenges for us every year. We knew this, and we need to do it as a unit. Everybody needs to understand this, that we need all 5 players who are out there all the time, give maximum and play effort, play together, and be confident. When last game we couldn't make a shot, but I think for me this is also not being in shape, because when you are tired, it's much harder to make a play. It's much harder when you are open, make shots, and we are trying to build that that stamina, and then obviously, then when everything get more simple, also the head get faster.
Go ahead, Cody.
Coach Kopp, what did you guys miss not having Sam Panega out there, and sort of what's his likely return to play?
Of course, he's one of those key pieces for us this year. He's our starting center, and we need him. He's a big piece for us. He got big role, big opportunity to take that next step in this league, and that's his role for our roster. And it was unfortunate he couldn't go, but like I said earlier, how I understood, he's ready to go next week. I don't know when he's able to practice. This is another question, but I hope he can play against Perth.
All good.
Thank you.